Welcome to Top Factz, the newest addition to YouTube where we will be bringing you many videos from many different genres of interesting facts. So before we get into it, please make sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell to be notified when we upload new videos. Also, comment below any ideas you may have for a video you would like to see, and if we choose yours to create, we will not only give you credit for the video but we will also give you a shout out in the beginning of the video as well. Let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. Comic book legend Stan Lee's life was always an open book. The co-creator of some of the greatest superheroes and most beloved stories of all time, Lee, who passed away on November 12, 2018 at the age of 95, became just as mythical and larger than life as the characters in the panels. We have compiled some very interesting and possibly unknown facts about the legend himself. 10. His wife was also his barber. As a bit of a throwaway fact, Stanley Martin Lieber, Stan Lee, revealed the secret of his slicked-back mane on the second page of his memoir, My Whole Adult Life. I've never been to a barber, he wrote. Joni always cuts my hair. For being 95 at the time of his death, I'm sure he saved loads of money. 9. Young Stanley wrote Obituaries. Before writing about the fantastic lives of fictional characters, Lee wrote anti-mortem obituaries for celebrities at an undisclosed news office in New York. He said that he eventually quit that job because it was too depressing. Which I don't blame you, Stan. 8. An issue at the printers turned the Hulk green. The character was supposed to be gray, but according to Lee, the printer had a hard time keeping the color consistent. So as of issue number 2, Lee wrote, with no explanation, he turned green. Could you imagine a gray Hulk? Comment below what color you think the Hulk should have been. 7. Origins. He became an editor at Timely Comics in 1941. Timely Comics would eventually be renamed Atlas Comics in the 1950s and was rebranded again as Marvel Comics in 1961. The same Marvel we all know and love today. 6. Lifer. In 1998, Stan signed a lifetime deal with Marvel Enterprises, Inc. The contract only requires that he spend 10% of his time with the company. In a 2012 Reddit Q&A thread, he told a fan, I don't have any spare time. 5. Motto. Stan's trademark catchphrase, Excelsior, means ever upward. It is also the New York State motto. It is also Al Gore's motto in South Park's Man Bear Pig episode. 4. Pairs. After being transferred from the Army Signal Corps in New Jersey, Lee worked as a playwright in the training film division in Queens with 8 other men, including a few who went on to be very famous: Pulitzer Prize-winning author William Saroyan, cartoonist Charles Addams, creator of The Addams Family, director Frank Capra, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington and It's a Wonderful Life, and Theodore Geisel, better known as Dr. Seuss. What a team that must have been. 3. Good Guy Stan. In 1971, Lee received a letter from the Department of Health, Education, and Welfare asking him to put an anti-drug message in one of his books. He came up with a Spider-Man story that involved Spidey's best friend Harry abusing pills after a bad breakup. The CCA would not approve the story because of the mention of drug abuse, but Lee convinced his publisher, Martin Goodman, to run the comic anyway. Just like his heroes, Stan is what needs to be done. 2. Spider-Lee. One of the exclusive offers for the game adaptation of The Amazing Spider-Man was playing a short side quest via DLC where you play as Stan himself, looking for lost pages of his manuscript while using all the powers at Spider-Man's disposal. It's actually quite fun to see someone other than Spider-Man doing Spider-Man things, let alone Stan freaking Lee. 1. Shifty business. After leaving Marvel in the late 90s, Stan Lee was approached by a man named Peter Paul who pitched Lee on a project called Stan Lee Media. This was a company where Lee could release any project that he wanted to without having the Marvel executive approval. Lee thought this was great, but there was just one problem. Paul was using the Stan Lee brand to rob their investors. While Lee was releasing new characters like the web series The Seventh Portal, and a sci-fi version of The Punisher called The Accuser, Paul was exaggerating the company's profits to their investors and manipulating stocks. The SEC eventually caught up to Paul and busted him for fraud in 2001. Lee was cleared of all wrongdoing but was embarrassed in front of the comic book community at large. Wow, who would have imagined the Hulk was supposed to be gray, or the fact that Stanley wrote Obituaries? I hope you all enjoyed the video and give it a thumbs up. Make sure you slam that subscribe button because we have a bunch more interesting videos coming your way. Till next time YouTube, take care.